Hello, air signs, and welcome to your full moon in Leo Astro Oracle reading with me, Shakti Sanja, aka Sanja, depending on what language you speak and how you pronounce things. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're family, if you're a client, if I know you, welcome back. If you're new, hello, welcome. So here are your messages for that potent, fiery Leo full moon that had us all bring up a lot of stuff. If you want to hear the general messages of what that full moon was about in this particular period for the next week as we get to that third quarter moon, go check out that intro video before this video. All right, so air signs, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. If your sun sign is in Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini, or your moon sign, or your rising sign, like mine is in Gemini, or your north node, like mine is in Aquarius, then this is relevant to you. And if you want specific readings for your sign, you can donate anything you want and get those in the extended below. The links are all below. Got some other goodie links in there for you, so check those out. All right, so we're doing 5 questions. And the first question is, what is being illuminated about your leadership and your pride, air signs? Let's have a look. So I feel like pulling a goddess card. I love this deck so much, the Goddess Power deck by Colette Baron Reed. All right. I like to keep my decks in their little containers because it just feels good that way. Eventually it'd be super nice to have like a room that's just my little cosmic room. Okay, everything's coming out. Let me just shuffle those again because I just got a bunch of cards. All right, air signs. What is being illuminated about your leadership and your pride? 2 clear Leo qualities. Okay, awesome. This was also in the water sign reading for another answer. And yours is Maya, illusion. And there it goes, the illusion of this rose staying up. There you go. All right, so what's being illuminated for you, air signs, is any illusions, any delusions that you've had. I feel like I want to say delusions of grandeur, but specifically like feelings of like that you're meant to be in a spot where you're not, or that you should be farther ahead than you are, or maybe even feeling like there's illusions around your own self. So there's like illusions that are being illuminated during this week, and specifically yesterday during the peak of that full moon, that are showing you exactly where you have been prideful in your leadership, where your leadership might have fallen flat, or you might have missed the mark, or you might have been deluded, or kind of I want to say almost like overly optimistic, right? Or like logically, it's almost because you're an air sign, so you're like, logically, I should be here. Like I've taken this step, that step, but that's not taking into account like the magic and the timing of the universe, right? Like that's just your logic. What about the greater logical orchestration, right? So it's like living beyond your own illusions and allowing them to be revealed to you so that you can actually be a lot more grounded, practical, and in flow with the work that you're meant to do here on the planet. Right? Does that make sense? So you're going to have any illusions shown to you. Also, like if it comes to your team members or people that you're working with, maybe you had false thoughts about them. Like maybe you're like, this person's like this, or they're always going to treat me that way, or they're not good at this. Like any like judgments that you had that aren't actually based in reality, that are based in illusion or projection, or maybe fear from the past. I feel like a lot of this has to do for you is like in your own leadership, when you go forward and you want to do your work in the world, you might be projecting the past into the future and into the present moment, right? So you're not giving people the opportunity, and including yourself, to fully bloom and to fully be new. Like, are you even holding yourself back, being like, oh, well, you know, I never got training in that, but this is what I feel drawn to do. So should I even do it? Right? Like it's not logical for me to be this far ahead or to be in this space, but it's also where you feel drawn to, right? So maybe you want to start a business and have your title be CEO, but before that you were an assistant and you're like, can I do that? Can I make that big of a leap? Absolutely you can, right? Like it's like any sort of like illusionary thinking that is actually not reality. It's actually not speaking to the greatest possibility and the greatest truth available to you and to others who work around you is being dissolved now, right? So lots of judgments towards yourself and others are coming up. You might feel really restless. There might be a lot of anxiety coming up for you around this period. Like, what have I been doing? What's been going on? Have I been seeing things clearly? And it's like, no, you actually haven't. Like, that's a general message for you, is you actually haven't been seeing things clearly, air signs. And everything is like the fire and the Leo clarity, like the light of the sun is illuminating that for you so that you're able to see things clearly and then make more grounded action moving forward that are true to you and true to your heart, right? So you're going to be really surprised, and you have to be forgiving with yourself, merciful with yourself, because you didn't know this. Like, it wasn't illuminated before now. You couldn't have known it before now, and actually consider that you weren't supposed to know it before now. I don't know what is going on with my hair, but I'm just going to let it be what it is. I'm going to get it cut by an amazing, conscious hairdresser in Victoria. I'm so excited about that. Yeah. All right, so that's your first card, what's being illuminated for you. Your second card is, how have you been performing, right? How have you been performing in terms of what you have achieved, and also like, where have you been putting on a mask and where have you been fake? And this is what's being illuminated for you. So I'm going to pull an everyday tarot card for you. I love this new deck. You can get it in a lot of places. Amazon. You can also get it on biddytarot.com, where she teaches you about how to read tarot. So if you want to learn how to read tarot, check out Biddy Tarot, BIDDY Tarot, TAROT.com. And this is not sponsored. I'm just sharing the goods. When I love something, I share it. All right. So where have you been performing? Kind of a perfect metaphor. It's like, I'm not performing when I share things that I love. Like, that's just real. It's authentic. Okay, 3 of Pentacles in the reverse. Where have you been performing? So this guy's like building a space, and it's like in collaboration, right? So and it's like being in reverse. So maybe you were like building a really solid foundation in a group or in a collaborative experience, like with a team essentially around you. And you're like, yeah, we're building really good foundations. Like, this has been great. But the performance for you has actually been like, well, I don't really think that you've been showing all of your skills and all of your capabilities in this team. And you also haven't been letting everyone in that team, or you haven't been considering that everyone in that team isn't also sharing all of their potential capabilities, right? This can be in partnerships in terms of in your relationships, like maybe in your marriage or in your partnerships or in your family, but especially with your team and in your career. It's like underestimating yourself and other people. That's what's being illuminated. And that's also how you've been performing. You've been underestimating yourself. You've been undershowing your capabilities because maybe you've had to fit a certain role, right? Don't be confined, don't be defined, and don't confine and define others as well. Like here, these two guys are kind of observing him in a meditative state with like their hands in kind of a prayer, in a meditative position, and he's chiseling away. But maybe this guy is the master chiseler and no one's saying anything about it, right? So that's kind of like what's being like dissolved and removed right now, is like this need to fit into a box and do a particular role when actually you're capable of doing a lot more. So it's like a widening, a more holistic experience of yourself and your own power, and how you contribute to collectives, how you contribute to teams, how you contribute to your community, and also like expecting and looking for and demanding more for others in their genius zones, right? So that everyone is fully fulfilled and fully being utilized. So there's that message. How have you been performing? You've been underperforming. You haven't been fully sharing yourself. And we need all of you. We need your magic, air signs. You're so brilliant, right? Have you been not sharing your creative side? Have you been not sharing your compassionate side? Have you been not sharing your analytical side? Share all of you. And that's how all of us will be served most. And other people will also be free to do the same. All right. Third question. What advice do you need to be courageous, right? So you need to be courageous moving forward, creating what's in your heart, on your path, on your destiny. If you're listening to this, like I said in the intro, you're here because you're on your destiny path. You want to live your dharma, and you're getting this guidance. So you can do that every 2 weeks with the moon cycles in the cosmic cycling of the earth and the solar system. So what advice do you need to be courageous to do that work in the world? I'm gonna pull another good tarot card for that. What advice do you need, air signs, to be courageous? Two of Cups. Again, in the reverse. So advice that you need to be courageous is to be open to partnership, to be open to teaming up and collaborating with people, to like open your heart and look for people with open hearts, with open arms, with full cups ready to give. And then you get to give your full cup. So what you need to be courageous is to open your heart up and to be willing to partner and to collaborate with other people. This is also to do with your love life. Like, be more loving, be more into romance, right? Valentine's Day is just around the corner. And so is the retrograde, and so it's Pisces season. So it's a lot of like yummy, cozy, artistic, romantic vibes coming in. And you opening your heart to all of life being able to be like that is how you can be more courageous, right? If you know that you are loved and that you get to do it together, you're able to do anything. You're able to be so brave. So do it in collaboration, like allow yourself to intertwine with someone else, right? It's not codependency, it's dependency. And that's actually very healthy. We depend on each other. We're a social species. We wouldn't survive without each other. No man or woman is an island, right? So collaborate, be with other people, lean on your partnerships, lean on your partner, and know that they will support you and you can be courageous creating whatever it is that you need in the world. Beautiful. All right. What does your heart want you to boldly create next? What is that thing that you need to create? What is the action that you want to take? And I'm going to pull an animal spirit card here for you. What is the thing that your heart most wants you to boldly, courageously create next? Air signs, I almost said fire signs. All right. Some of you might have fire in your chart, so go check out those ones. All right. All right, so I have Wasp Spirit in the reverse, and I have Koala Spirit in the reverse. Spirit has a plan, sometimes life stings. Okay, so I feel like this is more so advice rather than what your heart wants you to create. But like, so Wasp Spirit is like, ouch, that stung, that bit me, that hurt. Like, I don't want to be hurt again by what I create. I don't want to dream up again and then be like deluded or feel like I didn't get what I wanted or I'm not getting my, the fruits of my labors aren't being actualized, which is very Leo energy. That was the whole theme of this particular full moon. And that's in reverse. That's being shed, right? And then also Spirit has a plan, koala energy. What your heart wants you to boldly create is to co-create with Spirit and to trust the process of life. Like, your heart wants you to be open to listen to the guidance around you. Like, listen to your dreams, listen to your daydreams, listen to the voice within you that doesn't have a lot of emotion, but that asks you to be bold, right? It's like when you get a voice from your intuition, you'll know something, but you won't have an emotional reaction to it. You won't immediately have fear around it. You'll get inspired or you'll feel neutral, right? So it's asking you to open your heart and to trust the plan and to trust that any pain or stings that come along the way are part of the plan or part of the teaching and the learning, right? It's actually here to support you. Right. So for example, getting into a bad financial deal or having like a weird business relationship teaches you to have a lot more clarity, more communication, more connection, more real partnership in the future, right? Having a painful separation teaches you how to have a more healthy relationship, right? So you learn a lot from the stings in life, and then you get to trust the general plan. So overall, what you need to boldly create is like trust again in partnership, trust in life, trust in creation, trust in the new cycles. And this is what you get to release over the next week and then through the retrograde period into Pisces. So come March, come springtime, you're ready to boldly create, and you will have released all of these illusions, delusions, pain, past heartbreak, and you're trusting again with open-hearted readiness to create anew. That's beautiful. Air signs. Come on. The heart is actually represented by air. So it's like letting those tornadoes come in and actually feeling like your heart is being wafted and fanned, right? With emotional healing will help you open it up again to create anew, right? The winds are changing for you. And lastly, anything else you need to release your inner fire, your inner sunshine, right? Let your bold Leo roar, let yourself be seen. I'm going to pull another tarot card for this. Anything else you need to release for your inner fire to shine. And this is the Three of Wands. I also pulled this for the fire signs. So the Three of Wands is what you need to release is like looking at the past, thinking that like it's almost like thinking that looking at the pain before, looking at what's been going on, like that victim story that's coming up, right? If you're still telling a story of that was painful, that was shitty, that hurt me, that didn't work out, that person didn't do this, or I didn't do that, I didn't achieve this, that's actually stopping you from being inspired and creating into the future, right? So you need to stop looking at the past, stop telling that story of pain, forgive, let those winds sweep through, open your heart again, trust in partnership again, trust in co-creation again, trust in yourself and the universe again, that it is a greater plan, it is all a part of a bigger plan, and it is here for you. So be excited to create in the spring and let this all go. Let it wash through you. Let the winds come through you and your heart so you can create anew. Oh, air signs. That was so incredible. That was so beautiful. If you want your extended readings, the links are below. If you want to do a reading with me, you can check those out too. If you're a client of mine, you will get a link with all of those extendeds this week. And if you haven't, then DM me or message me so you can. Have an awesome day. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.